गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स। अब हम सेकंड पेपर सेकंड सेक्शन लेते हैं फर्स्ट पेपर का, इन विच वी डिस्कस अबाउट द स्ट्रक्चर, ऑर्गन एंड सिस्टम्स ऑफ ब्रेन, एंडोस्केलेटन, डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम, सर्कुलेटरी, रेस्पिरेटरी, एक्सक्रीटरी, नर्वस एंड रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम ऑफ लेबियो, फ्रॉग, वेरेनस, पिजन एंड रैट। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी टेक द लेबियो। लेबियो के बारे में हम जो पढ़ेंगे वो कंटेंट ये हैं। हैबिटेट पढ़ेंगे, एक्सटर्नल मॉर्फोलॉजी, फूड फीडिंग एंड डाइजेशन, रेस्पिरेशन, सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम, एक्सक्रीटरी सिस्टम, एंडोस्केलेटन, नर्वस सिस्टम एंड इट्स रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम। सबसे पहले इसकी सिस्टमैटिक पोजीशन जानते हैं। फाइलम कॉर्डेटा, सब फाइलम वर्टिब्रेटा, डिवीजन ग्नैथोस्टोमेटा, सुपर क्लास स्पीसीज, क्लास ओस्टिक्थिस, सब क्लास एक्टिनोप्टेरिजी, सुपर क्लास सुपर ऑर्डर टिलियोस्टियाई, ऑर्डर साइप्रिनिफॉर्मिस, फैमिली सैप्रिनिडी, टाइप लेबियोरोहिटा और कॉमन नेम है इसका रोहू, रोहू फिश। हैबिट एंड हैबिटेट ऑफ रोहू। इट इज abundantly found in the fresh water in pond, lake, river, reservoir. It is chiefly vegetarian and bottom feeder, which young fry feed on the zooplankton. It breed in the June and July in the running water only. Rohu fish has a spindle-shaped body measuring about 1 meter in length and weighing about 20 kilogram of the body. The dorsal side of the body is blackish in color and the ventrolateral side are the silvery. The body, like that of Betki, is distinguishable into a conspicuous head, trunk and tail. The head extends from the snout up to the superior margin, posterior margin of the operculum. The snout is depressed and projects beyond the jaws. Lebiorohita is characterized by the having no lateral lobes in the snout. 2 nostrils are present in the dorsal side of snout. The mouth is crescentric transverse opening bounded by thick fringed lips. Teeth are absent in jaws and eyes are prominent, are lidless, and 1 or more 2 pairs of varvels are present on the dorsolateral side of mouth. The maxillary varvels are relatively short and delicate than the rostral varvels. Rohu fish, this is the structure, external structure of rohu fish. This is streamlined body and this is the caudal fin and homocircle caudal fin, and this is the pelvic fin, and this is pectoral fin, this is dorsal fin, and these are the eyes, and this is mouth, and this is operculum or gill cover. The fins, both paired and unpaired fins are well developed, and pectoral fin and pelvic fin are paired and borne by respective girdles. Each fin is supported by fin rays. The pelvic are situated on the ventral side behind the pectorals. Unpaired fins consist of dorsal, caudal, anal and ventral fins. Its tail is homocircle because its both lobes are similar in size. Digestive system. The digestive system of rohu is composed of extremely long alimentary canal and associated digestive glands. This particular fish is herbivorous in habit. The alimentary canal is divided into mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, intestinal valve, intestine, rectum and its external opening, the anus. The mouth is bounded by the soft upper and lower lips. The free edges of the lips are broad and are beset with the 4 or 5 brocks of blackish and conical papillae. There are no teeth and tongue in the teeth are present, but no tongue in the mouth of Labeo. The mucous membrane lining the floor of the buccal cavity is provided with the highly developed thick muscles. The buccal cavity leads to the pharynx. The pharynx is bounded by a gill arch and well demarcated into an anterior respiratory part and the posterior narrow digestive part. The pharyngeal homodont teeth are present which help the crush the solid food. The posterior portion of the pharynx leads to a very short tube, that is esophagus. The ductus pneumaticus of the swim bladder open into the esophagus. The true stomach is absent in rohu. The anterior part of the intestine becomes swollen into a sac just behind the esophagus. This sac is designated as the intestinal swelling or intestinal valve, which stores the food. The gastric glands are absent in the intestinal valve, but it is resemble histologically to the intestine, but not the stomach. The mucous lining of the intestinal valve contain the absorptive and mucous cells. The intestine is extremely elongated, measuring about 7.5 meter long or thin walled. The intestine is more or less uniform in diameter and forms a number of coils, and this is the intestine of Rohu from the mouth, and this is coiled intestine, this is the duodenum, and this is pharynx, posterior pharynx, this is intestinal valve and long intestine, and this is rectum, and this is anus. Elongation of intestine and its extensive coiling are related to the herbivorous food habits. It is directly correlated with the herbivorous. Herbivores have a long intestine and the carnivore have a short intestine. The intestine is lined by the absorptive and mucus secreting cells. The rectum opens into the exterior through the anus located just in front of the urinogenital opening. The pyloric ceca are lacking in Rohu. Mechanism of digestion. Digestive glands comprises of liver and pancreas. Absence of stomach is compensated by the production of pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice contains the trypsin lipase, maltase, erepsin as well as enterokinase from the intestinal mucosa. Amylase is produced from the pancreatic cells. Respiratory system. There are 4 pair of gills contained in the branchial chamber. Each branchial chamber is covered with the operculum and branchiostegial membrane which is attached to the posterior margin of the operculum. The wall of the pharynx is perforated by the 5 gill slits on each side and is separated by the 4 gill arches, interbranchial septa, or gill arches or interbranchial septa in between them. There are 4 pair of gills, and gills are holobranch type. Each gill has a double row of gill filament, is supported by the gill arch with the gill rakers. 2 rows of gill lamellae are separated by the interbranchial septum which is short and compact. Each gill arch bear afferent and 2 efferent branchial vessels. Rohu utilize dissolved oxygen only, not free oxygen. This is a structure of gill, and these are the gill rackets of Rohu, and this is the heart, sectional view of heart of Labeo, auricle and ventricle, and one is sinus venosus. Circulatory system. Circulatory system of Rohu is basically built in the teleostean plan. The heart is composed of sinus venosus, an auricle and a ventricle. The conus arteriosus is absent as such, is represented by the pair of valves. A non-contractile valvus is arteriosus is present. There are 4 pairs of afferent branchial arteries supplying the deoxygenated blood to the corresponding gills. After oxygenation, the blood from the gill is collected by efferent branchial arteries. Both renal and hepatic portal systems are found in the Rohu. Endoskeleton is completely ossified. It is may be divided into axial and appendiculars. Axial skeleton consists of the skull and vertebral column, and skull is made up of completely ossified, and structural organization of skull is the many investing and replacing bone participate in the formation of skull. It is composed of cranium, the sans capsule and the visceral arches. This is the structure of cranium. This is structure of this is frontal and premaxilla and the maxilla, exo-occipital. These are the frontal, dorsal and ventral view of cranium. Now, nervous system of Rohu. Nervous system of Rohu is divided into 3 categories: central nervous system, peripheral nervous system and autonomous nervous system. Central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord, and the brain of the Rohu is typically built in the piscine plan. The cerebral hemisphere are small and undivided. Corpora striata is predominant, and the olfactory lobes are moderately developed, and the reduced diencephalon is provided with the dorsal pineal body and the ventral pituitary body. The cerebellum is conspicuous and prolonged anteriorly to form the albula cerebri. There are 10 pairs of cranial nerves in Rohu which form the peripheral nervous system, and the presence of lateral line system, ear, eyes and ear. Reproductive system. During the breeding season, pectoral fins become the larger, and female pectoral fins are the smaller than the anal fin, and but the female surface of the pectoral fin is smooth. Maturity. Rohu attain maturity at the end of the 2nd year, and sexes last play at the 5 to 10 seconds. Gonad become greatly enlarged during breeding season. Male testes extend to the whole length and secrete sperms, and the ovaries enlarges in the coelomic cavity and secrete their ovum in the coelomic cavity, and they expelled out to the exterior. and the mechanism of cleavage and subsequent development processes start and goes on. Thank you. This is all about labio-rhoeta.